The plains around Andrew Mason's ranch stretched so wide that the sky felt like a calm roof resting over the world. Most days were quiet, filled with wind moving through tall grass, the soft clink of gates, and the steady breathing of cattle. Andrew had lived with this silence for years. People in town called him steady and stubborn. They also whispered another word when they thought he could not hear. Lonely. He did not argue. Loneliness had settled into his life like a shadow that never went away. He woke with the sunrise, worked until his shoulders ached, cooked simple meals at a small kitchen table, and ended each evening on the porch watching daylight fade. It was a good life, just quiet, maybe too quiet. The people in town worried for him more than he worried for himself. They believed a man like Andrew needed someone to share the house, someone to soften the silence. So they made a plan, full of cheerful pressure and confident smiles. They chose someone they believed would be safe and steady. Someone they thought he could handle. They chose Emma Turner. Emma had lived in town for as long as Andrew could remember. She worked at the library, moved gently through life, and carried a title she did not deserve, Old Maid. She was not forgotten, but people treated her as if life had passed her by. They thought she was calm enough, quiet enough, responsible enough to place beside a lonely rancher who never asked for help. So one afternoon Andrew returned from the fields and found several smiling neighbors waiting in his yard. Emma stood among them with folded hands and uncertain eyes. The group spoke quickly, explaining that she would stay for a while, help with the house, and bring warmth back to his days. Andrew said little. Emma said even less. When they left, silence returned, heavier than before. Emma stood with her small suitcase, looking at him with worry. "I didn't ask them to do this," she said softly. "I know," Andrew replied. The first evenings passed slowly. Emma moved through the house with careful steps, cleaning and cooking with quiet patience. She did not try to change his life. She simply fit herself into it, like she had always known how to live there. Andrew watched with calm surprise. He liked the sound of her light humming, the way she placed another plate at the table without asking, and the gentle company she brought to dinner each night. The house felt different already, as if air that had been still for years finally began to move again. The town believed they had forced something on him. They thought Emma was charity, a solution to loneliness that he endured only because he was kind. But they were wrong. Emma Turner had always been Andrew's secret desire. He had noticed her for years. He had watched her in the library helping children find books, seen the kindness in her quiet smile, and admired how steady she remained even when people underestimated her. But Andrew was a man who did not risk his heart easily. He believed feelings were safer when buried. He thought she deserved someone better than a weathered rancher who rarely spoke. So he kept his feelings hidden and learned to live with them. Now she was here, not because he asked, but because life had carried her to his door. Days turned into gentle weeks. Emma fell into the rhythm of the ranch. She woke early, brewed coffee, and watched the sunrise beside him. She worked with him sometimes in comfortable silence and laughed more than anyone expected. Andrew found himself laughing too, surprised by how natural it felt. Even small things changed, the way he lingered at breakfast, the way evenings seemed to stretch kindly instead of dragging. The ranch, once heavy with quiet, began to feel like a place where breath could settle softly. One evening they sat on the porch as the sky faded into soft colors. The air was warm and slow, wrapping around them like a blanket. "I know why they brought me here," Emma said finally. "They think I am someone you tolerate. Someone placed in your life out of pity. Someone safe to settle for." Andrew felt the words strike deep. He turned toward her, listening to the quiet pain woven into her calm voice. "I hate that label," she continued. "Old Maid. As if I am only here because I missed my chance at real life." The wind moved across the field. A cow called in the distance, then silence returned. "You're not something to settle for," Andrew said, steady and firm. "You never were." Emma looked at him, searching his face. "Then why did you never say anything?" He took a slow breath, releasing years of held-back feeling. "Because wanting something too much can hurt. Because I thought you deserved more than a quiet rancher with rough hands. Because I was afraid if I reached for you, I would lose even the comfort of seeing you from afar." Her fingers tightened around her mug. "I always wondered," she whispered. "I thought maybe I imagined the way you looked at me. I thought you saw me the way everyone else did. Useful. Forgettable. I never forgot you," he said softly. "Not one day." That truth settled between them like warm light. What the town believed was forced had never been unwanted. It had only been unspoken. After that evening, things changed gently, like sunrise spreading across the land. They talked more. They shared memories and hopes they never thought they would say aloud. Emma admitted she loved quiet places but hated being pitted for living in one. Andrew admitted that the silence of the ranch felt lighter with her in it. The house no longer felt empty. It felt lived in, it felt safe. People in town watched and waited for the arrangement to fail. Instead, they saw Emma at the market buying two of everything, and Andrew touching her hand without thinking. They saw warmth that could not be faked, and slowly their whispers changed to softer ones, surprised, then pleased. One evening, standing again on the porch, Andrew spoke softly. "You were never pushed on me. They only opened a door I was too afraid to touch." Emotion softened Emma's eyes. "And you were never my last option," she said. "You are someone I choose, clearly and gladly." They stood close, hands finding each other in a steady, natural way. No ruse. No drama. Just calm truth and a deep sense of rightness. For the first time in many years, Andrew did not feel alone beneath the wide sky. For the first time in a long while, Emma did not feel left behind or half seen. Their story did not end loudly. It ended with trust, warmth, and the quiet knowledge that sometimes life leads two patient hearts together only when they are ready. And on that once lonely ranch, under that endless gentle sky, Andrew and Emma finally rested in the peace of belonging exactly where they had always needed to be, grateful that what others forced upon them had been, in truth, the very gift both hearts had quietly prayed for.